Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve O and Rene. Sit back each week while Steve O and Rene educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve O and Rene with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to another Ask the Experts, where we bring you the top experts in the field of health, legal, and home improvement. I'm your host, Steve O. I'm here with my co-host, Rene.
How you doing, Steve?
We have a big friend in the studio this week. God, I can't even say studio. I love when they come on because Morse Life, and we're going to be talking about memory care today. What were we supposed to do today? I'm sorry. We're talking about memory care today. And first of all, before we get started with our guest, I think it's just so incredible how Morse Life gives back to the community. It's not all about the green. And it's just, everything they do is about the community. And I just think that's just so wonderful that there's this successful, really wonderful company that giving back to the community is so number one with them. So before we go any further,
we have a special guest with us today. We have Stephanie Frazier live here in studio. Tell everybody your title with Morse Life and the background, a little bit about your background.
Okay. I'm the director of memory care with Morse Life, and I've actually been with the company now for about 2 months. So
you're a newbie.
I am a newbie, yes, but I absolutely love it. I feel very blessed to be able to work for such a great company. I came from the St. Louis area where I was...
Go Cardinals.
Yes, go Cardinals. I came from the St. Louis area where I was director of memory care there for about 10 years and was recruited by Morse Life down here.
Yes.
Yes, stolen to South Florida. They didn't have to twist my arm too hard to get here, but now I'm here and working in the memory care building now that is open. So very excited and happy to see this vision through for Morse Life.
When did the memory care facility open?
We have actually been open now for 4 full weeks. We opened on the 8th of last month. So we've got 4 weeks under our belt. We've got over half of our residents moved in. So
Wonderful,
it is busy and full of people and life, and it's great.
So what makes Morse Life so special?
Well, like you said, Morse Life is very involved with the community, and it's more than just a facility that's there for people. They are looking to better the lives of the people that are in the community and, its heritage with the Jewish community, but not just the Jewish community alone, but with everybody. What I've noticed with the company is they go the extra mile to find out what needs to be done for the people. Just like with memory care, it was a vision of Morse Life with the growing population of people that are getting Alzheimer's or dementia. So, they wanted to make sure that we were there to meet the needs of the people, and we do whatever it takes. As these people move in, we're learning, about their lives. They're not just a number to us moving into the community. We're finding out who they are, what they did, and continuing that with their care at Morse Life.
Wow.
If they have a relative or a friend who might be going through dementia, Alzheimer's, and you have a question for Stephanie, you can call us today, 888-565-1470.
So it has been reported that in Florida alone, there are over 500,000 seniors living with Alzheimer's disease, which is an incredible number.
Yeah, it's a startling number when you sit here and think about it. And we talk about the population increase in just Palm Beach County alone. They're talking about it going from 300 to 900,000 over the next 10 years. And when you look at those numbers and think of the percentage that it's affecting with Alzheimer's, how many people out there in just Palm Beach County alone are going to need this type of care? And with no medical cure in the immediate future,
I know, I just saw there was an Alzheimer's walk
Yes.
I think it was in Palm Beach, actually.
Yeah.
And they said Alzheimer's for a cure. So are they getting close to anything? Is anything on the horizon as far as that's concerned?
I mean, they're definitely doing the research, but as far as the immediate future, as soon as they think they have some groundbreaking cure, there seems to always be a setback. So right now they don't foresee anything in the immediate future, but that's why we do things like the Alzheimer's Walk, which Morse Life is a huge supporter of, and we have a lot of people that go out and do that walk every year, and that's why we support the cause, because we hope that somewhere in the future we can see that happening.
This is an older demographics here in South Florida, and is there anything that people can do, say 60, 65, with either their diet or exercise or
Vitamins, anything.
but exercising their mind that maybe might lessen their chances? Is that possible?
Every doctor will tell you something different, but obviously just living a healthy lifestyle helps with any medical, diagnosis. But unfortunately, there's not a direct result like do this and you won't get it. Exercise, healthy diet, keeping your brain stimulated, that's all part of it, which is why those are all programs that we provide in our memory care, because a lot of times what happens is whenever you have somebody elderly with memory impairment that is at home, there with 24-hour care, they're not necessarily getting those things because you're just doing what you can to keep them safe.
Right.
And that's the main priority. But there are so many things that you also need to remember are so important with somebody with memory impairment, like exercising every day. That is so key. And doing different things that stimulate your brain. It's just like physical therapy. If you don't use something, you lose it. You need to do therapy to be stronger. So you can do different brain therapies and exercises and different things that stimulate it. And that's all part of our program at Morse Life Memory Care as well.
I have a really important question for you. I actually read where it said that if you do crossword puzzles, it stimulates the brain. So I do 100 a day. Now they're all
No,
easy
he doesn't.
ones.
He doesn't.
They're all easy. So but
They're 12 and under. Crossword puzzles.
brain stimulation, they said, doesn't cure anything, but
Right.
it does help. And there's not that golden pill, is there?
No.
Let me ask you something. Is it hereditary?
They do say that some types are hereditary, yes. Yes.
So what is Morse Life doing different than most other facilities doing when it comes to memory care?
Right. So just like all those things that I mentioned, about, exercise, brain stimulation, I mean, Morse Life has such a variety of activities going on daily that provide that life enrichment and stimulation to help people, because it's not just about coming and moving into a place and sitting there. Okay.
No, because you see some of these facilities, and I've gone to a lot of nursing homes. I've had elderly relatives, grandparents, and you see a lot of these elderly people that are just sitting there,
Right.
that don't know
Depressing.
what's going on. Yes.
Right.
And they just move them around.
Right.
And that's it. And do nothing.
Right, exactly.
It's really sad.
Exactly. So what Morse Life does is, a lot of these people had a very grand, life where they did a lot of different things, and that doesn't have to stop just because all of a sudden you have a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's. So we are here to continue to provide that kind of lifestyle and stimulation on a daily basis. So, 3-4 times a week we have entertainers coming in. We do exercise classes every day, whether we have an instructor coming in or we're going out and taking people for walks. We go out to dinners. We go out to lunches. We have art therapy, which is huge, where people are able to express themselves through painting. We have jewelry classes for the females. And then aside from all of the life enrichment things we do, we also have a lot of medical people on board right at Morse Life. We have doctors in the building. We have neurologists. We have our regular general practitioners. We have
so these patients don't have to go outside
Yeah,
the facility. Everything's
exactly.
provided right there, which is wonderful.
Right. All I have to do is make a phone call if I have a resident that's having, some kind of situation going on that needs medical attention. We call, they come on the floor, they see, the resident right then, same day, and they don't ever have to go anywhere. So they come to it's like getting a house call. I mean, when was the last time you could say you got a doctor to make a house call?
Never. And I have to tell you, my father was just in a rehabilitation. He had surgery, and there was like one resident physician. That's about it.
Right.
And we had to keep picking him up to take him wherever his doctor appointments were. So that's a huge thing.
Right, exactly.
It makes it so much easier. And all these kids, most of their parents are in the facility and they work. So it makes it so much easier.
Right, exactly. I mean, we communicate with the families, on a daily basis. If there's any kind of change, at all, we're communicating with the families, hey, we just want you to be aware of this. This is what's going on. We've taken care of it. So not only are we providing the service for the actual resident, but we're also providing service for the families. The families, if you're trying to take care of a loved one at home, that it's not safe for them to be there.
It's
and you're
overwhelming.
Yeah, it basically is running your life. I mean, we have families that have come into us and they were sleeping with dressers in front of the doors at night so that their loved ones couldn't get out because they were afraid if they got out in the middle of the night, where would they end up?
I know. You see the silver alerts
That
on the
gives me the
highways.
chills
Yeah, that's
when we
crazy.
see that. 'Cause that means somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia is gotten out.
Yeah, and then we have several family members that has happened to, and that's why they're at Morse Life, because they know they're in a secure environment where people are watching them 24/7. And if they want to get up in the middle of the night and have a snack, they can get up in the middle of the night and get something to eat. They can walk around, they can do what they want because there's staff there to provide for that.
Well, I saw pictures of the new memory care. It's absolutely beautiful.
Magnificent.
It
It really
is.
is.
It is
Yes.
really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to go to a break. We're here with Stephanie Fraser, the Memory Care Director of Memory Care at Morse Life. When we come back, we got so many more questions for you. We'll be right back.
Morse Life is a nationally recognized provider of elder care and support services for seniors and their families in Palm Beach County. Located on the expansive Maryland and Stanley M. Katz Seniors Campus in West Palm Beach. Morse Life is dedicated to enhancing quality of life for older adults through a full range of services. Morse Life provides long-term care, state-of-the-art short-term rehabilitation, luxury independent and assisted living, memory care, and home health services. Morse Life is also the exclusive Palm Beach County affiliate for PACE, the national program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. Morse Life has been awarded the Governor's Gold Seal of Excellence and is a 5-star nursing facility committed to continuous research and training that consistently delivers enlightened senior care. Morse Life also offers concierge care for clients seeking an enhanced level of private home care. For more information or a tour of the campus, please call 561-471-5111 or visit www.morselife.org.
And we are back.
And we're here live in studio with Stephanie Fraser, and she's the director of memory care at Morse Life. So tell everybody a little bit about the facility itself, because I know the rooms are set up a certain way, and it's almost supposed to feel like you're in your home from what we hear. So
Yes.
tell everybody about the facility itself.
Right. So the whole setup of the building, the memory care residence, is geared to make the resident feel like they are staying in their own house. They're not at a nursing home or a facility per se. So they have their own bedrooms. Everybody has their own bedrooms and their own bathrooms, which have great views of our garden area and our courtyard, which has very lush landscaping. It's gorgeous. And so they have that view right outside their rooms. Like I said, they have their own private bathrooms.
Can they change their views like him put a mountain scene up?
Yeah. Well, nobody
That's
wants to
too
see the
No, but they
mountains
don't.
here.
They have private rooms. They don't bunk with
No,
somebody.
they
Because some
are-
of these facilities, I mean, they put a couple of people
Right.
in one room, but they have
No.
their own private rooms.
They have their own private rooms, and then we have spas for the females because let's face it, everybody likes to go to the spa.
Yes.
You know, they may not want to take a shower, but they love to go to the spa, and it's got a chandelier and flowers and foo-foo towels and big chairs, and it's gorgeous. We have a beauty salon on site, so you can get manicures, pedicures, get your
nice.
hair done. So that's all
nice.
part of it. And when they come out of their bedrooms, then there's very large living room areas, and there's multiple sitting areas where they can just come out, sit down, kick their feet back, you know, and relax. And then we have our dining room, and one of the things that we are very proud to brag about is our open kitchens, which is a very new concept in the state of Florida as well as nationally. To have an open kitchen on a dementia unit is a big deal.
Well, tell everybody why.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of times people with dementia, you have a hard time getting them to eat. Well, let's face it, if you smell cookies or brownies or, you know, roast beef cooking, I mean, how do you not get hungry? You know, it's all part of the stimulation of the senses. So we cook all the meals right there on the floor. We bake items every day, you know, so they're sitting out, you know, the whole unit smells so good all the time. And then, you know, the residents can eat whenever they want. They don't have to eat at a specific time. Like, okay, now is the time to eat. And if you don't feel good or you don't want to come out of your room, you can't eat.
It's not
They
like
can
12
eat.
o'clock seating and that's it, you're finished.
No.
So you can go anytime throughout the day and order what you want to eat.
Right. And
Which is nice, yeah.
exactly. Because, I mean, you know, some people don't like to get up till 10 o'clock in the morning, and other people are up at 5, you know, and sometimes people with dementia get up several times throughout the night and want to eat. Well,
So there's always staff there to make them something, which is wonderful.
Yep, staff 24/7. The kitchen is open, and you know they can cook anything that they want. We have everything right there, just like if you got up at your home and
So you
went to the
provide them with a
kitchen.
menu?
We do have a menu, yes, so that, you know, a lot of people with dementia can't necessarily tell you what they want. So we have a menu that we go off of that follows our kosher standards, and we go off of that, but it's a lot of detective work, and the staff are trained to pay attention to certain behaviors. If a resident's not eating, you know, we cook something else, and
Right.
we keep doing that until we figure out what it is that they do like and want, you know, and we keep a profile on every single resident, their likes and dislikes, because food is a big deal,
Absolutely.
you know?
A lot of people don't know that Renee and I are actually restaurant and food critics. That's what we do for a living. And I heard the food at Morse Life is out of this world.
Yes.
Well, it's
5
kosher,
stars.
so it's got to be good.
Yes, it's good and it's healthy, which is very
Yes.
important. It's very healthy, you know, so we're always finding, you know, ways that we can make it better. So you guys can come and critique our food anytime.
Actually, you're going to be doing that
We
soon.
were invited. Yes, we were invited.
Oh,
That's
yes,
funny. Yeah.
good. Come on out.
So tell everybody how the teams work, because I know you set up with teams to address some of the issues with the elderly.
Yeah, so we have several teams set up on and off the floor. I mean, we have a medical team that's set up. Like I said earlier, we provide every kind of medical service that you can think of right there at Morse Life. So we have a medical team. You know, we meet regularly and talk about any concerns that we might have with any of the residents medically, so that we're catching things before they become an issue. You know, it's not waiting till it already is an issue. We take care of it before it becomes an issue. And then we also have teams of people that are just part of the daily care. We have groups that work with certain residents on a regular basis, so they're getting to know everything there is to know about those residents. residents. You don't have somebody different coming in to work with mom every day because, then you can't figure out as much as you need to know about that resident.
And the residents also feel comfortable when they see the same person over and over again.
Right. They may not remember your name, but they remember your face, and they're familiar in the way they respond, they smile and welcome that person because it's not a stranger coming into the room. So we have those teams set up. We also have support groups set up with social workers because, a lot of the families need that support as well. Like I said, we're providing support for not only the resident, but also the families, which is so important.
Well, it's very depressing. I mean, I had a grandfather that had Alzheimer's that died. And it's very sad when you go to visit them and they don't remember who you are.
Right, exactly. And, with two full floors of assisted living and one of skilled, with all those residents, we have such a wide variety of residents that are at different areas of the disease. So there's always somebody that you can talk to that's going through the same thing that you're going through. And a lot of times family members of people with dementia think there's nobody else on this planet that can understand what I'm going through, but there are a lot of people going through it. So we have those support groups set up for the families as well.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Is there anything you don't think of?
No, not at all.
So what is the goal of treatment as far as Alzheimer's is concerned?
A cure would be the
Yes, of
ultimate
course.
goal.
Yes.
Our goal at Morris Life, obviously, is to provide the best possible life we can for these individuals and their families. There is nothing that is going to change the diagnosis, and everybody knows that Alzheimer's disease is terminal. So, unfortunately, when a family member receives that diagnosis, it can be startling.
Devastating, yeah.
So Morse Life is here to provide every service that you would ever possibly need to provide your family and your loved one with all the security and quality of care that you can get, and you will never ever have to relocate your loved ones. Because of our continuum of care, you will not have to leave.
It's unbelievable because you could start there independent living, then go into assisted living, then go into memory care. It's wonderful.
Right, exactly.
You can tell Rene used to work there.
Yeah.
I may after this.
Right. So, that creates a peace of mind for the loved ones.
Absolutely.
You don't want to have to go through it more than once. And, we keep an eye on all of the individuals and we
and
provide
the progression. So if you see somebody's living in independent housing and they need more care, then they move into assisted living, which is wonderful.
Exactly. And we care for the people on our campus. They get priority over anybody that's on the waiting list. But, we take care of the move, so it's very easy for the families because a lot of families live out of town, too.
Yes.
So they're totally relying on us communicating with them and making it happen. So that takes the ease off of them.
I feel very comfortable relying on you.
Yes.
Tell everybody also there's a car, because I think Linda had mentioned that you actually have a car in the memory care, which is really unique.
Yes, we do. We have a Mercedes, of course, in the courtyard. Our garden, it's gorgeous. We have water features, and we have, a country kitchen outside where we can barbecue. We have barbecues out there. We have a cooler so we can keep our drinks out there, and they can sit in the shade and kick back and relax. And then we have our Mercedes parked in the courtyard so that whenever a resident feels like they need to get out and go for a drive, because a lot of them, that's what they did, they can take the keys and go sit in the car, and it turns on and simulates that
but doesn't go forward,
it doesn't drive anywhere. No, we don't have any crash course. Yes, it is stationary, but that takes the ease off of that resident, because telling them, well, you don't have a car here, you can't go anywhere, it's not going to make them happy. So now we can give them the keys and say, okay, we'll go for a drive, we'll see you later.
Right.
And they can.
Tell me, we've got a lot of listeners that have parents that are getting up there in age. What are some of the signs to look at as to dementia or Alzheimer's?
Yeah. A lot of elderly people have normal memory loss, and I think that that's to be expected, and not to jump to the conclusion that you have dementia or Alzheimer's. Dementia or Alzheimer's, a lot of the times the first things that you can notice is just the personal appearance of somebody. Somebody that's taken such pride in taking care of themselves their entire life, and then starting to neglect,
that makes
their
sense.
personal care, not taking showers, not combing hair, just looking a little more rougher than usual. And then, of course, just not being able to carry on a conversation that really makes sense anymore. And then it becomes a safety concern because they're driving or going out and not being able to tell you where it is they're going or where they went. So those are all signs that, something is going on. It doesn't have to be a diagnosis of Alzheimer's. And the good thing is at Morse Life Memory Care, you don't have to have Alzheimer's disease to live in our memory care. There are a lot of different types of dementia that create memory impairments. Just like if you had a stroke and lost some of your memory,
Right.
you can still come and live in our memory care residence. We're still here to help take care of that.
Is there an age?
There
that
is
usually-
no age.
Okay.
No.
So as we anticipate this age wave,
Mm-hmm.
can old age be an age of dignity?
Of course it can, and that's why everything we do is all about providing dignity and the best life possible for these types of individuals. Everything that you look at in our memory care residence was thought out to provide dignity for them. Just like the showers for the females, they're not showers, they're spas, and everything is set
nice.
up to make it so beautiful, because why not? Just because they have dementia, why can't they get that type of environment? And that's what we're here for, to provide all of those things that they're used to getting. And it doesn't have to change. This isn't, a death sentence. This is
Right.
just a life changer. And we're here to, provide the best care possible.
Why don't you give your phone number out? So if somebody has questions or they're interested in coming to take a tour of the facility, because the facility itself is magnificent.
Yes, and
the
the
whole
best-
grounds of Morse Life is magnificent.
Right. And the best thing to do is come take a tour, because you need to see it for yourself. And since we have people that are there living, you can see how does the staff interact with the residents and see how they take care of them. That is the most important thing. So you can call me anytime. My direct phone number is 561-687-5783, and you can call anytime and set up a tour with me.
Go ahead.
And give everybody your website as well. If somebody wants to go on your website, because you have pictures on your website.
Yes, we do. www.morselife.org, and you can see pictures of the memory care residents on our website.
I see why they grabbed you from St. Louis now. You're really,
Because she
really
has
good.
a passion.
You're very
and you
knowledgeable.
Have to be, something, you have to be so compassionate to work with these individuals. And I can
Yes.
see that you have that, which is wonderful.
Right, and that's the attitude that all the staff that work in memory care, have. It's not a job. It's a privilege to provide care for these individuals and their families in their time of need. I mean, not very many people can go home at the end of the day and say, I made somebody's life better.
Oh, absolutely. That's amazing with everything that you do. It's not just with the memory care. It's just like Keith has got such a vision. We were talking about this before, and we're just so lucky to have Morse Life down here in Palm Beach County.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for
Great,
having me.
great
Yes, it's a
job.
pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to go to break right now, and we're going to be back with the second half of our show.
With assisting hands. We'll be right back.
Morse Life is a nationally recognized provider of elder care and support